One day, Buddha was sitting under a tree in front of a lake outside the town. Suddenly, a man came and fell at his feet and held onto his feet and said, "My father was a good man, and he passed away. I want you to make sure that he goes to heaven. He must go up, not down." Before Buddha could open his mouth, he said, "You should not say no. There is a tradition in Bharat, India, that if someone comes to you and requests, you should not say no. I am going to ask you something because I am desperate about it." Buddha said, "Now what can I do? You have already made your point. I cannot say no. All right, you do one thing. Go back home, have a dip in the river at 4 o'clock in the morning, then take an earthen pot and fill it half with rocks and half with butter, tie it with a cloth, bring it here, and we will see what we can do for your father." Next day, the man bought the biggest pot available in the town, filled it half with rocks, and remaining half with butter, and tied it up. He carried this very heavy pot with great difficulty and came and stood in front of Buddha. Buddha looked at him and said, "Go around the lake 3 times and come." As per his tradition, the man walked around the lake 3 times carrying this heavy pot. He was half famished when he came back and stood in front of Buddha. Buddha looked at his condition and his determination. He told him, "Just walk into the water till the water comes to your chest." He went in. Then Buddha said, "Gently let the pot in." The pot went in and sank. Then Buddha picked up a thick stick, threw it to that man and said, "Take the stick, and now with a single strike you should break the pot." The pot was under the water, and the man was tired. Breaking this with a single strike was a difficult task. "My father is going to heaven. I cannot give up," he thought to himself. He stood there and got ready. He thought of all the possible gods that he knew and held his breath. Then Buddha said, "If you break it in one single strike, the stones will come out and float on the surface, and the butter will sink. Then your father has made it." In one hefty strike, the pot broke and the butter came up. He looked at it and thought to himself, "Butter came up. Now what to do?" Then he looked at Buddha. Buddha said, "He did not make it." Butter came up when the stones were supposed to come up. The man felt totally disappointed and dejected. He turned around and started walking back. When he started walking out of the water, his brain triggered. He came to Buddha and asked, "You said that butter will sink and stones will float. How is that possible? The very laws of nature are such that stones can only sink and butter can only float. Did you deceive me?" Buddha said, "Now that you have realized about the laws of nature, there should not be any problem to understand. That, your father, if he is like butter, he will go up, or if he is like a stone, he will go down. What can I do about it? And what can you do about it? You look very tired. Go home and rest. Laws of the nature shall take care of the rest."